everyone, and welcome to Museums Under the Spotlight. I'm Alina Dima, your host, and today I am truly delighted to invite you to a mesmerizing castle. We will travel together through history and arts, and we will discover the legacy of a medieval noble family that left an impressive heritage in Romania. We will unfold the strong romantic ambience of the Cantacuzino Castle in Busteni, in the heart of the Carpathian Mountains. On a vast domain on the edge of the forest, the Cantacuzino Castle awaits you to discover its story.
The Cantacuzino Castle from Busteni, of a great architectonic, historic and artistic value, was built and inaugurated in 1911 at the wish of Prince Gheorghe Grigore Cantacuzino. The building, made of bricks and stone according to the plans of Grigore Cerches, is built in a neo-Romanian style and stretches over a surface of 3,148 square meters. The decorations give the interior a strong romantic ambience. The fireplaces, made of white stone and bearing polychrome mosaics, complete the atmosphere of a manorial residence, increasing the value of the building. The castle holds an unique collection representing the coat of arms of the boyar families related to the Cantacuzino family members of the Wallachian side. The motto of the Cantacuzino family for centuries has been "Ce nocent docent," which means "what hurts you teaches you," or it can also be interpreted as "what doesn't kill you makes you stronger."
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are at the Cantacuzino Castle in a landscape that takes your breath away, literally, and we are going to find out a lot of details regarding the Cantacuzino family and the history of this magnificent palace. And together with our host, we are going to uncover a lot of history and mysteries regarding this palace. Hello, Mr. Laurențiu David, and thank you so much for having us here today.
Pleasure.
I would like to know, what is the exact history of this magnificent palace?
This castle was built by Prince Gheorghe Grigore Cantacuzino, starting 1901 and finishing in 1911 to be a summer residence and to be so close to his neighbor from Sinaia, King Carol.
And tell me about the architectural style of the castle.
The architectural style, it's a new Romanian style. The architect of this castle was Grigore Cerches. With building this castle, he reintroduced this new style, Romanian style, in the Romanian architecture.
So what are the characteristics of this specific style? What exactly stands forth when we talk about Neo-Romanian style?
In the Neo-Romanian style, there are the arcade of the terrace. Also, the shape of this castle have the form of letter U. It's a characteristic of this style, and also you can meet this characteristic to the Romanian monastery. Like Horezu Monastery is built in the same style.
And also the Cotroceni Palace, right?
Yes, Grigore Cerches, the architect, built a part of Cotroceni Palace of the demand of Queen Mary. First time when the name of Cantacuzino was mentioned was in 1170. It's about a general who fought in the Byzantine army, Ioan Cantacuzino. And also from this family it was two emperors on the Byzantine throne, Ioan and Matthew. When the Byzantine Empire falls, the family ran through Europe and give birth to another three branches of the family, one in Russia, one in Moldavia, and one here in Wallachia. And Prince Gheorghe Grigore Cantacuzino belonged to the Wallachian branch of the family.
We were talking about the history of the Cantacuzino family, and we can mention a lot of personalities, strong historical figures in Romania's history. So let's talk about them. Let's talk about the most important men in the Cantacuzino family during the centuries.
During the century after the Byzantine Empire falls, I told before, the family ran to Europe and give birth to three branches of the family. Prince Gheorghe Grigore Cantacuzino belonged to the Wallachian branch of the family, and here in the castle, in the bar room, we have a collection of 12 paintings made on Cordoba letter with 12 of the most important ancestors of the prince. In that collection, the first two are the fondators of the Wallachian branch of the family, Postelnicul Constantin and his wife Ilina. They have 12 children, 6 boys and 6 girls, and from those children, one of the most important was Șerban Vodă Cantacuzino. He rules from 10 years in Romanian country, and he was the one who established the first school in Romanian language, the actual Colegiul Sfântul Sava from Bucharest, translate and print the first Bible in Romanian language, but also was the one who bring the corn culture in Romania. His nephew, Ștefan Vodă Cantacuzino, also rules for 2 years in Romanian country, and was the last Romanian rulers from here. After him come the Phanariot rulers from Istanbul. Actually, they was Greek in origin. Also from Cantacuzino family was some Phanariots.
Let's also mention the women in the family, the wives of the Wallachian princes in the Cantacuzino family.
Yes, one of the 6 daughters of Postelnic Constantin was Stanca. He was the mother of Constantin Brâncoveanu, another very important ruler of Romanian country. And after his mother died, Constantin Brâncoveanu was raised by his uncle, Constantin Cantacuzino, father of Ștefan Vodă Cantacuzino. Also, this Constantin Cantacuzino was very important for our history. He was the one who designed the first map of Romanian country, and also this map was printed in Padova in 1700. Right now the map is in the British Museum from London.
And now let's talk about the main personality in the Cantacuzino family, meaning Gheorghe Grigore Cantacuzino. What is his story and a few things regarding his personality?
First time he was born in 1822 in Bucharest, and he finished his school in Paris. Was one of the few Romanian in that time who have a degree in law. During his life, he was a great political man. Was prime minister twice, mayor of Bucharest, also minister in several governments, and when he dies, was the chairman of the Senate. Also have the presidency of the Conservatory Party for 2 times. One of the main objectives of Prince Cantacuzino was to develop the railroad from this country, from Romanian country at that time. He was involved in the abdication of Alexandru Ioan Cuza, one of our princes, and that abdication allowed to King Carol to come on the Romanian throne and start building the modern Romania.
I noticed that there are a few symbols, particular symbols, present here at the Cantacuzino Castle that remind maybe of Cantacuzino's partnership or participation in the secret gatherings. What can you tell me about that?
Yes, that wasn't so secret. Prince Cantacuzino was member of Francmason Lodge, Sage de Heliopolis, and that lodge actually was involved in that abdication of Alexandru Ioan Cuza. In the castle are a lot of symbols who can be connected with the Francmasonry, but also a lot of Celtic symbols.
I have noticed that in this particular room that we are right now, there are a lot of coat of arms, and I would like to find out some more about them and what do they symbolize.
Yes, in this room, in the bar room, it's a unique collection in Romania. It's made from 27 coat of arms of the most important family from Moldavia and Wallachia, who related with Prince Cantacuzino's family. For example, Dimitrie Cantemir was married with Cassandra, the daughter of Șerban Vodă Cantacuzino. And also you can find another 3 coat of arms of the families who give emperors and the Byzantine throne, Coman and Paleologo, near the Cantacuzino's first coat of arms.
Since you mentioned the ballroom, because we are in the ballroom, I am very curious to know how were the parties held here and who were the members that participated to this kind of parties?
We have proof about a particular one party in 1911. This party was given the honor of Prince Bourbon and his wife. And there was a lot of invitates, like ambassadors from Holland, ambassadors from France, the prince and princess from Bourbon, and another people from the high society from that time. And in this ballroom, also our great compositor George Enescu sang a lot of times, also actually on this stage.
And what about the cuisine? When we are talking about the parties held here, what were the preferences of the Cantacuzino family and what did they impress their guests with?
The cuisine was made actually for each party different. If there was guests from other countries, they preferred the French cuisine, but also I see years before a menu from a Christmas party only with the Romanian, and it was very, very rich meal.
It is a known fact that Gheorghe Grigore Cantacuzino had the ambition of becoming the ruler of Romania by birthright and also thanks to his ancestral bloodline. So when the Romanian politicians decided to bring Prince Karl of Hohenzollern-Sigmaringen to the throne of Romania, Cantacuzino expressed his disapproval that transformed into a fine rivalry. Of course, all conflicts were dissolved, and the two strong men actually collaborated many times for the better good of Romania and its sustainable growth and development. On the other hand, when it comes to matters of the heart, in the Cantacuzino family, there have been many interesting or even forbidden love stories, but one truly has its fashion. The love story between Maroca Cantacuzino and the famous Romanian composer George Enescu. They fell in love, but Enescu, being the perfect gentleman, waited for Maroca to be free from her marriage to a Cantacuzino, so they could live their love story to the fullest.
The Cantacuzino Castle not only has a tremendous history behind it, beautiful architecture, and of course the magnificent history of the Cantacuzino family members. Visiting this castle, you can also have the privilege of visiting beautiful art galleries, and now we are actually witnesses of the art gallery in the memory of Marc Chagall, and together with our wonderful host Mihaela Cristea, we are going to talk about Chagall and his work. Tell me about his artwork and about his personality.
Oh, this is such a difficult question. He was a very, very complex human being with many expression in terms of meanings and techniques. He was very complete. He worked in oil painting, he worked in graphic, he worked in ceramics, mosaics. He even wrote poems and did scenographies for theaters. It's such a complex, and we are very proud of exhibiting at the Cantacuzino Castle this year a total number of 157 graphic works by Chagall.
We all know that Chagall was actually Russian. He came from the Russian Empire, the former Russian Empire. But another characteristic of his birthright, let's call it a birthright, was the fact that he was of Jewish origins. He was Jewish, and all that came forth in his art also. Tell me more about that.
Yes, he was born in Belarus, which is of course a part of the former Russia Union, in the 1887. It was a period in which a Jewish community in Belarus was actually taking form. He came from a very modest family. He was the first child actually from the 9th of the family, let's say a humble family. He grew up among the Jewish traditions, customs. The center of his community was the synagogue. And we often find this element in Chagall's biographic works. And his name, if I may add, was Moshe Chagall, which means Moses. So it's a biblical name.
Apart from that, tell me about his personal life and about the love of his life, apart from his art, of course.
Yes, in the same community, in Vitebsk, part of Belarus, as I mentioned, he knew Bella Rosenfeld. She was a Jewish lady as well. She came from a much better positioned family. Her father had a business with jewelry, so she was much better from social point of view than Chagall. They fall in love instantly. Chagall mentioned that in the moment he saw Bella, it was like she already knew all his life and all his insights. They got married in 1915 in the same community in Vitebsk, and then later on, from 1923, as I mentioned, the family moved to France. Bella was one of the most important inspiration sources in Chagall's artwork, in which he often depicts him and his wife in a beautiful harmony, the couple, the man and the woman.
Chagall's journey to France and to Paris was paved with sacrifice and yet with a lot of determination, because once he set foot in France, he started to become more known. So this is why we are going to talk now about one of the most famous artworks signed by Chagall, and that is the Opéra Garnier of Paris. Tell me about that project.
It's a project initiated in 1962, and it was actually a commission work by the French Minister of Culture, André Malraux, the famous André Malraux. So he commissioned Chagall to paint the ceiling of the Opéra Garnier. It's a total surface of 220 square meters, so it's a large composition, and Chagall dedicated 2 years from his life to finish this work. It's an homage. It's an homage both to classical music and to great composers of the world.
So it's still in avant-garde style, of course, but tell me about the colors and the textures, and also about the figures that he used to create the story.
Yes, the chromatics is always Chagall. He's unique. He's known today as being one of the best colorists in the world, so we will definitely recognize his style. The structure of the ceiling is split by chromatic areas, blue, red, yellow, white and green, and inside of which we have symbols of Paris, such as the Tour Eiffel or Arc de Triomphe, Cathedral of Notre Dame maybe, or we could have names of composers like Mozart, Ravel, Beethoven. This was one of the most important, and Chagall stressed Beethoven with his work Fidelio.
It is said about Marc Chagall that he is a lover of love. That is one tremendously beautiful description of him. But his artwork was influenced deeply by his Jewish origins. So I was very curious to know, how did Judaism influence his artwork?
Well, his Jewish origins are exploited, if I could say like this, in his artworks. Many of the symbols, many of the customs and tradition in which he grew up. It's a symbolistic. He uses for the power of the elements and the suggestion of it, which is very, very strong.
Tell me if there are parts of his work in the Holy Land, in Israel and in Jerusalem. Did he leave there his fingerprint?
Yes. At the beginning of the 60s, he had a task to decorate the synagogue Abel, which is a part of the Medical University Center Hadassah in Jerusalem. He has there 12 stained glass windows. It's a masterpiece. It's a biblical subject inspired by the 12 tribes of Israel, son of Jacob. And in these stained glass windows, he uses not only the Jewish symbols, but only his own element, which is a donkey.
The donkey is also a biblical symbol. If we were to talk about the gospel, of course, it's not really related to the Old Testament, to the Torah, but the donkey is present in the Bible.
Of course, it's a very religious, symbolic animal. It's very humble as well. It's one of the main reasons Chagall chose this animal. But I think we must always take into consideration the historical part of Chagall's past in terms of Belorussia, which is Russia, which is Orthodox Greece, and we could relate the donkey to this side.
So we can definitely say that his life and his artwork were definitely a combination of his origins, Russian and the Russian Orthodox influence, even though he came from a Jewish community, and afterwards in France, and all the influences of the artistic currents in those times in France, and of course his Jewish origins, whom he was really proud of. Critics, I know, that talk about him and about his Jewish origins as him being the most important representative figure of Judaism and Jewishness in art.
Of course, he was the one which expressed the most this part of his childhood. Even though it is known today that Chagall was not really a practitioner Jew, so it's not very religious, but the symbolic of it and the power these symbols gave into art, it's absolutely fantastic. And this is what motivates Chagall, as well as his beautiful design in terms of chromatics and symbols, yes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have enjoyed this beautiful journey with me through history, love stories, and the most impressive expression of art and architecture here at the Cantacuzino Castle. You should definitely come visit this castle and hear the whispers of nature and of these magnificent castle walls. Until next time, remember to make your life a beautiful story.